Welcome, children, to continue the third part of Geography, chapter number 2. Students, in the previous part of the chapter, we have learned about conservation of water resources, how to conserve it, problem of water availability, etc. Now, let us see page number 15, last paragraph, but 1. A part of the chapter's topic is natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation, it refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. That is called natural vegetation. And children, wildlife. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. So now let us see. Some school children were visiting an exhibition on handicrafts. So, boys, some school children, they were visiting in an exhibition. Exhibition means a public display, and it was on handicrafts, materials or goods which are made by hand. So they visited there for that purpose, for that exhibition. The articles in the exhibition were collected from different parts of the country. So articles means the different things in the exhibition. They were collected from different parts of the country. Mona picked up a bag and exclaimed, "This is a beautiful handbag." So Mona, she picked up a bag and she said, "What? This is a beautiful handbag. Yes, it is made from jute," the teacher said. So to answer that, teacher said, "Yes, it is made from jute." So jute is a fiber, boys. The teacher said, this one, "Do you see those baskets, lamp sets, and chairs? Those are made of canes and bamboos." So the teacher said again, see here, "Do you see those baskets, lamp sets, and chairs? Those are made of canes and bamboos." Canes and bamboos, this is also available here in our Manipur. And children, we have seen here also many handicrafts. They used to make several things with these canes and bamboos. In the eastern and northeastern humid region of India, bamboo grows in plenty. In the eastern and northeastern, the places where humid areas are there, in that part of India, bamboo grows in plenty. Jessie was excited to see a silk scarf. Jessie is the name of another girl. She was excited to see a silk scarf. Scarf means it worn around neck or head. "See this beautiful scarf?" The teacher explained that silk is obtained from silkworms. that are bred on mulberry trees. Again, teacher he explained that silk is obtained from silkworms that are bred on mulberry trees. The children understood that plants provide us with many different products. Now, children they are clear that plants provide us with many different products, means many different things that we use in our day-to-day life. Importance of plants they can understand from their teacher. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere that we call biosphere. So natural vegetation and wildlife they are found only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, which is known as biosphere. So you see, life is found, that means in that biosphere region. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival. So, in the biosphere, boys, living beings they are interrelated, they are related with each other, and they are dependent on each other to sustain their life. For survival means to sustain their life. This life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. So this life supporting system by which they are interrelated and interdependent, the system is known as the ecosystem. Vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources. Vegetation and wildlife, these are valuable resources for us. Plants provide us with timber, give shelter to animals, produce oxygen we breathe. Boys, vegetation and wildlife, these are valuable resources for us. It is because of plants it provide us with timber. Plants provide us timber. With timber or logs, that means we used to make plank like that, which are used for making furniture. And plants give shelter to animals also. Produce oxygen we breathe. See the importance of plants. Plants produce oxygen, and the vital it is vital for our respiration. Protects soil. So let us in the next page. Essential for growing crops. Act as shelter belts. See here. Plants protect soils. So it is essential for growing crops and act as shelter belts. Shelter belts means a line of trees or shrubs planted to protect an area. Help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex, turpentine, oil, gum, medicinal plants, and also the paper that is so essential for your studies. So you see here, plants, what are the things it provide us? Help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex. Latex means milky fluid found in many plants. Okay, milky that fluid. Turpentine, turpentine oil, gum, medicinal plants. Many medicine also we get from plants, and also the paper, which is very essential for your study to write, to copy, that means any question answer or anything, or to make our calculation of maths. You see, paper is very essential. So this is also a gift of plants. There are innumerable uses of plants and you can add some more. So apart from whatever it has mentioned above, there are innumerable which we can't count the uses of plants. There are several other uses of plants also there, and you can add some more also. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. Aquatic means those which are living in water. They provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool. So this wildlife, they provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool, skin and wool. Insects like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. See, even a small uh, insects, sorry, like bees, it provide us honey. Moreover, it help in pollination of flowers and have an important role to play as decomposer in the ecosystem. Sorry. The birds feed on insects and act as decomposers as well. See, birds feed on insects. They used to feed on insects and act as decomposers as well. Vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a vital cleanser of the environment. Vulture, they are considered as a vital cleanser. Oh, sorry, which can clean our environment. So animals, big or small, all are integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. So they are helpful to maintain balance in our ecosystem, balancing everything. Distribution of natural vegetation. The growth of vegetation depends primarily on temperature and moisture. See, vegetation, this is also not like in each and every part of the country or any places. So it depends mainly on temperature and moisture. The major vegetation types of the world are grouped as forest, grasslands, scrubs, and tundra. So these are the major vegetation type. You please mark it in your book with a pencil, underline it. What are the major vegetation types of the world? And that means what are the group of major vegetation types of the world? So you have to say forests, grasslands, scrubs, and tundra. In areas of heavy rainfall, huge trees may thrive. Those places which receive heavy rainfall, huge trees may thrive there. The forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supply. Abundant means sufficient water supply is there. It is because of heavy rainfall there. As the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density reduces. As the amount of moisture it decreases, the means it goes down. The size of trees and their density also become less and less. Short stunted trees and grasses grow in the regions of moderate rainfall, forming the grasslands of the world. So short stunted trees and grasses, they grow in the areas of moderate rainfall, forming the grassland of the grasslands of the world. Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall. Thorny shrubs, these are found, or scrubs are thorny shrubs and scrubs, these are found in dry areas in low rainfall. So to say, that means in the western part of India. In such areas, plants have deep roots and leaves with thorny and waxy surface, reduce loss of moisture through transpiration. See, why are thorny plants, they have waxy surface, so they have long roots, boys, deep roots. Tundra vegetation of cold polar regions comprise of mosses and lichens. Tundra vegetation uh, of cold polar areas is comprises of mosses and lichens, like that. Today there are many more people in the world than there were 2 centuries back. Population, whatever we are having nowadays, so these are more than people who were there 2 centuries back. To feed the growing numbers, large areas of forest have been cleared to grow crops in order to feed them. So, to get our food, as population is increased, so we need to clear large areas of forest in order to grow crops so that we can consume it. Forest cover all over the world is vanishing rapidly. Forest cover all over the world, but it is decreasing very fastly. There is an urgent need to conserve this valuable resource. So, boys, here it becomes urgent for us to conserve this valuable resource. Now let us see the next part of the chapter. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. To conserve or to save of natural vegetation and wildlife is their resource for us, as they provide us many valuable things, so we need to conserve them. Forests are our wealth. Forests are our Forests are our wealth. Plants give shelter to the animals, and together they maintain the ecosystem. Forests are our wealth. They are our property. Plants give shelter to animals, and together they maintain the ecosystem. Plants provide shelter to the animals, and together they used to maintain the ecosystem. They balancing our ecosystem. Changes of climate and human interferences can cause the loss of natural habitats for the plants and animals. So changes of climate, if the climate changes and human interferences, it can cause the loss of natural habitats for the plants and animals. Many species have become vulnerable. Vulnerable means harm, or endangered, and some are on the verge of extinction. So many species, many types of, you see, these animals, what happened here, many species have become vulnerable, harm, or endangered, and some are on the verge of extinction, on the border of extinction. Deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, and landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of these resources. So, cutting down of trees, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunamis, landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction. It may extinct these resources. One of the major concerns is the poaching, which result in a sharp decline in the number of particular species. Poaching means illegally hunt or catch. So it results in a sharp decline. Decline means fall down in the number of particular species, means particular types. The animals are poached for collection and illegal trade of hides, skins, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers. And animals, they are, that means illegally hunted. It is because of uh, they want collection and illegal trade of hides. They want to, that means trade hides, skins, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers in order to sell it. Some of these animals are tiger, lion, elephant, deer, black buck, crocodile, rhinoceros, snow, leopard, ostrich, and peacock. These can be conserved by increasing awareness. So it can be increased by giving awareness. National parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are made to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. Boys, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, these are made to protect our natural vegetation. You see, we have a national park there in Kaibulam Jau in order to protect our broad antlered deer, which is what species it is not found in any other country. So government has set up these national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves in order to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. Conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetlands is necessary to save the precious resource from depletion. So we need to conserve conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetlands. It is necessary to save the precious in order to save them from losses. There is a balance in the environment if the relative number of species is not disturbed. There is a balance in our environment if the relative number of species is not disturbed. Human activities in several parts of the world have disturbed the natural habitats of many species. Human activities, activities of mankind in several parts of the world, have disturbed the natural habitats of many species. Due to indiscriminate killings, several birds and animals have either become extinct or are on the verge of extinction. So, due to indiscriminate killings without any having any mercy to kill those, several birds and animals have either become finished, extinct, or are on the verge of extinction, which we may not see anymore. There's a chances of that one. And extinction means which has finished forever. Awareness programs like social forestry and Ban Mahotsav should be encouraged at the regional and community level. So awareness programs such as social forestry and Ban Mahotsav, it should be encouraged at regional and community level. So planting more trees in order to save trees like that, this thing should be encouraged. School children should be encouraged to bird watch and visit nature camps so that they appreciate the habitat of varied species. Students going as a school going children, you should be encouraged here, inspired here to bird watch and visit nature camps so that you can appreciate the habitat of different species. Many countries have passed laws against the trade as well as killing of birds and animals. So many countries have passed the imposed laws against the trade as well as killing of birds and animals. In India, killing lions, tigers, deers, great Indian bustards, and peacocks is illegal. Is illegal in our country, India, to kill lions, tigers, deers, great Indian bustards, and peacocks. These are not legal. These are illegal. Government has not given us any right to kill those animals. An international convention, CITES, has been established that lists several species of animals and birds in which trade is prohibited. Prohibited means banned. An international convention, CITES, has been established and that lists several species of animals and birds in which trade is prohibited, means trading of that is banned. Boys, CITES here, CITES means the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. Conservation of plants and animals is an ethical duty of every citizen. To save plants, to conserve plants and animals, it is a moral duty for each and every citizen. So, boys, at the side of your book, that means towards the right margin, glossary, two glossaries are given there. National park, what is national park? That one, a natural area designated to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystems for the present and the future generation. Then another one, Biosphere Reserves, a series of protected areas linked through a global network intended to demonstrate the relationship between conservation and development. So you get through this thing also. It will be helpful for you in your study. So let's up to here for today, all of you. Thank you. Let's meet in the next class.